So just giving you a brief about the syllabus. Wherever you feel my slide is not visible, please let me know. So we are done with unit 1. We are done with unit 2, unit 3 also. I have taken unit 4 only through online mode, right? And unit 5, I have taken it up in offline mode yesterday. And today, through online mode, I will be taking up unit number 7. And unit number 6, we will be doing next week, right? So this is a brief about the syllabus, right? Once the complete syllabus will be over, then I will be taking up those topics in online mode that I have not taken in online mode, and those topics in offline mode that I have not taken there, right? So right now I'm not repeating the offline class in the online classes. Hope that will be okay with everyone, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
today we will be starting with decision making. It includes introduction, types of decisions, process of decision, individual and group decision making models. If you are able to recall, in the first unit, that is roles of manager, I have taken a Mintzberg managerial role, right? So when you will become a manager, you need to, you need to fulfill certain roles, which include your interpersonal roles, which include your informational role. And the third role, which was very, very important, is decisional role of manager. That means a manager is the one who is supposed to take decisions. So he need to act like an entrepreneur. He needs to handle the disturbance. He needs to be there when it comes to negotiation. He needs to be there when he has to allocate budgets or resource allocation is done, right? So today in this class, in detail, we will be understanding that what is the decision-making process, how it is done, what are the different techniques, what are the benefits and limitations of each technique. So decision making basically means an individual, when individual makes a decision, he has certain choice, he or she has certain choice, right? Two or three alternatives. Out of those two to three alternatives, when a person picks one particular alternative, right? That is how he makes a decision. So decision making starts or occurs as a reaction to a problem. So when you are in an organization, you face certain problem. And to solve that problem, you have to make a decision, right? Because there is a discrepancy between what you want and how things are right now. And you need to understand and make the decision how, what is the pathway, how you're going to proceed to solve the problem. So this is a small activity. You just imagine that you have to purchase a mobile phone or maybe a car. So what will be the first step that you will be doing when you will be making the decision? It's an open question. Yes. Anyone? I have to purchase I have to purchase a car, right? So सबसे first चीज हमारे mind में क्या आएगी? What I will be thinking about, what I will be doing.
Ma'am, first thing, my budget, and e-
Okay.
my budget will be the first thing. On the basis of budget, I will
Okay.
choose what type of car I can afford, basically.
Okay. Then
Then I think budget and type of car is first two step, basically. On the basis of budget,
budget
we
and type of car. Okay. What else? So we will go to a mall or you will go to a particular showroom and you will pick up a particular car like this and you will pay them like 20 lakh rupees or something like that.
no, ma'am, not like this.
Then how will you start the process?
Ma'am,
And we'll look for the reviews for a particular car. What type of trending cars is there?
So you will explore for
Explore, yes.
alternatives,
Or yes, ma'am.
right? Or I should simply write explore. You will explore. You will explore. You will do the research to figure out various alternatives that are there for you, right? What could be the next step? What could be the
ma-
particularly next step? Yes.
ma'am.
Hmm.
मैम हम ये देखेंगे कि उसमें मतलब वो कितना मतलब ऑन रोड कितना माइलेज देती है.
So you will look for the advantages and disadvantages for each alternative that you have explored, right?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
You have explored. Then you need to think, simply you need to think before we get into this is a process or that is a process. You simply think what we will be doing. What will you do next? Anyone? Is there any message in the chat box? Please coordinate. You will make a choice. Probably next step
Ma'am,
will be you will be making up the
ma'am,
choice.
one of them has written that compare car models.
You will compare different car models. So
Yes,
you will
ma'am.
compare different car models. What else? Then you will make a choice. Yes. Do you agree? You will pick one alternative which will be more suitable.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes
Right?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what will you do? Then you will go and purchase that particular car. And even after the purchase, are we satisfied? No. We just keep on looking for the reviews, how things are going. We start keep on evaluating it, right or wrong?
Yes
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is
ma'am.
how it happens, right? So let's take
Yes, ma'am.
another situation. Here I gave you a situation that you want to purchase a car, right? Now the situation is that you want to travel to office and you don't know, you need some vehicle, right? So the problem with you is that every day you have to travel to the office and you're looking for a transportation facility. Then how will you make a decision? Then how will you start? Are you able to relate with what I'm saying?
Yes
Please
ma'am.
also keep looking into the chat box. Or you want, I could give access of mic to others also, but please make sure there is no disturbance from your side, right? I'm giving access to mic. Unless you're going to participate, it will be very monotonous for you also. Okay. So I've given access to mic. You could speak. Yes. Now the problem with you is that you have to travel to office every day, right? So travel to office every day. Then how will you make a decision? How will you solve this problem? And you need some, transportation facility. Yes, how will you start making the decision?
Ma'am.
Hmm?
First, we'll check the options what are available: public transport, carpooling, or the route which has to be picked. The option priority.
So first you will be looking for, could you please repeat it in one simple word or maybe few words?
Which option is the best? Public transport or self-own car or what say?
Okay. So you are saying the first thing is that you will look for the alternatives, right?
Alternative, yeah,
Yes. Then,
which will be suitable. Yeah.
okay,
Ma'am, but
then
first we should look for the distance, like how far the office is located.
so
Then
you
we
will
can.
try to identify the problem. Is it right? If I have to travel to office, I need a
Ma'am,
transportation facility where I'm facing a problem. Yes. Someone was saying something.
ma'am.
Yes.
We will look
Hmm.
for the in range car, like the like brand image car. Like we if we are looking for daily travel, we won't go for a very luxurious car. We look for something in mid range only. Like it will help me to it will help me to commute. So in a mid range, we will look if we look for daily travel.
Hmm.
ma'am, can I
Absolutely
say
correct.
something?
But here the
And
thing is how to start the process. You need to
okay,
tell me the cognitive process also that is going in your mind and your actions also, what exactly you are doing,
okay, ma'am.
right?
And then
For
okay, ma'am.
example, the first thing is, just let me complete. First thing, like it was mentioned, who mentioned it? To identify the problem, we will look for the distance.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Name
near
of the
the car.
student. Ritika. So Ritika
Ritika.
clearly mentioned that first I will look into what is the distance where I'm facing the problem, right? So you will, the very first thing is because we are trying to relate it with the organization. So even in organization, first as a manager, you need to understand what is the problem. Problem means kahan pe wo question mark aa raha hai, where I'm facing a difficulty, where there is a gap, right? Once it is done, then what will be the next step? The next step probably would be to diagnose the problem, to go in detail of the problem, to understand the problem.
Yes.
And the third probable step is to generate the different alternatives available with you. I haven't mentioned that car se hi jana hai, or maybe you need to use bike, you could also use public transport, right? So the third step will be that you will generate number of alternatives that are available for you to travel to office. Yes or no? You all
Yes.
agree?
Yes,
Yes,
What
ma'am.
ma'am.
should be the
Yes.
next step? What should be
We
the
can
next
also
step after this?
confirm. We can also confirm from the office that they are providing the facility or not. Travel.
That is that all comes under the alternatives. One
Okay.
alternative is use the public transport. Now, second alternative is to purchase a particular, vehicle. Third is look for the facility given by the office. Even within that I am purchasing a vehicle, what category of vehicle I am purchasing? You could have number of alternatives. Yes or no? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What could be the next step
Then we will
after
compare the
identifying the
alternate.
alternative?
We'll
You will
analyze
compare
the
them,
alternatives. Yeah, the mileage and stuff.
right? Analyze them. You will compare them. You will look for the advantages and disadvantages, right? Right. Again, there is some disturbance. There is some disturbance. Please avoid that. Please, not like this. You need to understand if there will be disturbance, I won't be able to give you the access of mic. Please make sure there is no disturbance from your end. Okay. So basically, after that, you will analyze those alternatives. You will look for the advantages and disadvantages of each alternative. You will weigh them on the basis of cost also, which one is giving you a better cost benefit thing, right? Out of all the alternative, after analyzing them, you will be picking one particular alternative, right? And then you will be taking an action. Okay, fine, I'm purchasing this or I'm doing this. I'm going with this option. And even after that, you review your decision to understand if your decision was right or wrong, right? Similarly, in the same line, same thing happens in the organization. They first recognize the problem. Let me just take the access of mic. No, 1 second. Same thing happens in the organization. They first recognize the problem and the need for a decision. You randomly you don't start making the decisions on everything. You first need to understand what is the problem, where we are going wrong, where I have to make the decision. Then you identify the objective of making the decision. What is the objective? If I'm deciding something or I'm making some policy, why this policy is needed? Then you gather and evaluate data and diagnose the situation. List and evaluate different alternatives. Then you select the best alternative that is available with you based on the cost, benefit, and other components. You implement your decision. Then you take the feedback from others to understand whether your decision is good or bad, right? So if I go with the simple 7 steps, you define the problem, explore the alternatives to explore, generate ideas, gather information, generate different alternatives, analyze those alternatives on the basis of pros and cons, pick up a particular alternative, take an action and review it, right? So this is a simple process of decision making that we have discussed in previous slide. Now, this next thing is that what is the difference between a group decision making and an individual decision making? Are they both same? Is it same thing when I make a decision in a group or when I make a decision individually? The answer is no. They both are different, right? So are group decisions preferred to those made by an individual alone? So the answer here is that there are certain strengths of group decision making. Again, there are certain limitations of a group decision making. Strength is that group generates a complete information and knowledge, right? So it increases the diversity of views. So if I will gather my employees and I will take their opinion while I'm making the decision, the simple decision of solving a problem in an organization, I will have number of views. The alternatives that I will be able to generate will be in huge number, right? Also, when I will be making a decision as a manager, there will be an increased acceptance of the decision by the others. What does that mean? This means that if you people are participating in the decision that I'm making, then you people will be accepting that decision because you also have understood the pros and cons of other alternatives that were available. You are also clear about the problem. So, this is the strength of group decision making. But group decision making equally has certain limitations. Number one, it is a very time consuming process. So if I have to decide that which class I should take, on which date I should take it, at which point of time I should be starting with the class, and I try to involve each and every student who is pursuing MBA, then it is a very time consuming process. Also, there is a problem of conformity pressure. What does that mean? That there are few members who dominate in the group decision making process, and others are somehow they feel pressure to confirm what the group is deciding. So they are not able to tell what they individually actually feels, right? Also, it's the same thing that group decisions can be dominated by one or few members. Finally, group decisions suffer from ambiguous responsibility. Again, very important thing, if an individual person is making a decision, clearly that person is accountable for the outcome. But in a group decision making, the responsibility of any single member is diluted because the complete group is responsible for that particular decision, right? So these are the certain limitation of the group decision making. Now, before we go further, let us first, in a very simple terms, understand that what is group decision versus individual decision making. So group decisions are generally more accurate than the decisions of an average individual in a group. So individually, if you are making a decision or you are making a decision in a group, so generally it is found that group decisions are more accurate, but they are less accurate than the judgment of the most accurate person. What does that mean? For example, if someone is specialized in a particular field, then that particular individual could take better decision in that particular field than including number of people who are not that much specialized, right? So अगर आपने एक ऐसा ग्रुप ले लिया जिसमें लोग इतने स्पेशलाइज नहीं है और एक पर्सन है जो बहुत स्पेशलाइज्ड है, राइट? सो इंडिविजुअल डिसीजन मेकिंग उस केस में बेटर हो जाती है कंपेयर टू ग्रुप डिसीजन मेकिंग. Also, when we look into the speed, individuals are able to do better because on a timely basis they could make the decision. But if we look into the creativity, then groups tends to be more effective. So in a group decision making, we could hope that there will be certain creativity, innovation in the ideas, but individual decisions are the faster decisions. Okay. So decision making process, a simple process I have already explained. There are two types of decision making. One is programmed decision, second is non-programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are the simple routine matter for which a manager has an established decision rule, right? They are the simple routine level decisions. Non-programmed decisions are the new complex decisions that require creative solution. For example, during COVID-19 or during lockdown, how people or the colleagues will be connecting with each other, this is a non-programmed decision. It's a complex decision. It is something which is new and nobody knows how to make the decision, right? Then we have certain simple routine level decisions, day-to-day decisions. Those are programmed decisions. Before we go further, let us understand certain models of decision making. So an effective decision is the one which is timely made decision where every other individual is accepting whatever is decided, right? So individual decision making models include four types of model. First is rational model. bounded rationality model, second. Third is garbage can model, and last is intuition. Rational model. So this is part of individual decision making model. So rationality basically means it's a logical step-by-step approach to decision making with a thorough analysis of alternative and their consequences, right? What do you mean by rationality? Rationality simple means that it's a very logical step-by-step approach. So whosoever is a decision maker, he is completely rational and is aware about all the alternative, and he or she has explored all the alternatives before making the decision, right? So in this decision making process, the outcome will be also completely rational. The decision maker uses a consistent system of preferences to choose the best alternative. He or she is aware of all the alternative. He or she has calculated the probability of success and failure of each alternative. So this is a rational decision making model. But there is a limitation of rational decision making model. That is that in reality, a single individual is not having all the information about all the alternative. It is not possible. Also, there is a problem of intractable problem. What does this problem means? It occurs when we spend too much of time in organizing the decision making process, gathering information, and engaging in analysis and judgment, that by the time we finish everything, the problem has entirely changed, or your decision making has, or your decision has become irrelevant, right? In real life, if you will spend too much of time to make a rational decision, then there is a probability that the decision that you have taken won't make any sense, right? So Herbert Simon proposed bounded rationality model, which is more realistic, right? It is a theory that suggests that there are limits upon how rational a decision maker can actually be. What does this mean? That in reality, as an individual, I could not have access to all the alternative. It is not possible that in the given time frame, I'm able to explore the advantages and limitations of all the alternatives. So what a manager is exactly doing, he is making the decisions based on the limited information given to him in the given time, right? Or in the given constraints. Next is garbage can model. It is a theory that contends that decisions in organizations are random, they are unsystematic. So there is a problem, there are participants, there are solutions, there are different opportunities, there are certain challenges. So everything goes inside, like a garbage, and in a very unsystematic and random way, the people or managers are making the decision. This is another way how an individual make decisions in the organization. Next is intuition. So this is the least rational way of decision making. It is a decision making process where which is unconscious process created from experiences. So it is a form of subconscious logic that can be sharpened by the experience and often works best with the conscious reasoning. So while intuition is not rational, it is not inherently bad and necessarily wrong, nor does it always contradict rational analysis. What does that mean? This means that though intuition is not a rational way of making the decisions, but once a manager is very, very experienced and there is a situation where the uncertainty is very high, problem is vague, there are certain things which are not known, then intuition sometimes could give you a better solution as compared to other models, right? So before I go further, I will be giving you access to mic. If anyone is having any problem, they could ask. Any problem in individual decision making process? Yes.
Ma'am, can you please
Anyone
explain
is facing
again?
any problem?
Ma'am, can you please explain
Which one?
again
All?
bounded? Ma'am, I have some issue in
Rationality?
bounded rationality. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I will start with rational and then I will move to bounded rationality. They both are related, right? Rationality basically means an individual is rational. अगर आप rational हो, what does that mean? That you have knowledge about each and every alternative. Like I have given you a situation where you want to purchase a car, right? Now I'm expecting you to have the knowledge of each and every brand of car, everything about the car, right? और जितने भी alternatives available हैं आपके पास हर alternative का advantages, pros और cons भी होनी चाहिए. Based on complete information, you are making a rational decision, which is a step-by-step process, right? But reality में ऐसा नहीं होता. Reality में manager जो काम करता है वो कई सारे constraints के अंदर काम करता है. Time is a constraint, right? People is constraint. His cognitive knowledge is also a constraint, right? So he is not able to make a rational decision. अगर आपके पास डिसीजन आया कि लाइक यू वांट टू गो टू डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म और नॉट, ये तो बड़ा स्ट्रेट है ना, हमने बता दिया जाना है कि नहीं जाना. बट प्रॉब्लम्स कैसी आती है रियल लाइफ में? वी आर नॉट एबल टू वर्क इन द फिजिकल मोड, वी आर फेसिंग सर्टेन प्रॉब्लम्स. अब क्या करें? नाउ व्हाट शुड वी डू? So your mind is having a limited knowledge as an individual. You could only explore the limited alternatives, right? Because of the time constraint also. And आप उसी के pros cons को पे decide करके decision ले लेते. क्यों करते हो आप ऐसा? Because time is important. अदरवाइज एक इंट्रैक्टेबल प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी. आप डिसीजन जब मान लो अगर किसी ने कोविड-19 में जो जो कोविड 2019 में आया उसका सॉल्यूशन अगर किसी ने 2021 में निकाला होता तो इज इट अ बेनिफिशियल सॉल्यूशन? इज इट अ बेनिफिशियल सॉल्यूशन?
No, ma'am. No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
यस, नो.
No,
अब
ma'am.
क्या पॉइंट है? अब
No,
तो
ma'am.
कोविड-19 की सिचुएशन एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती. सो जिसने
Yes,
क्विकली
ma'am.
डिसीजन ले लिया ले लिया. सो इंट्रैक्टेबल प्रॉब्लम होती है जब एक मैनेजर बहुत ज्यादा टाइम ले लेता है डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस में, इंफॉर्मेशन को गैदर करने में, उन्हें एनालाइज करने में, कि बाय द टाइम जब तक वो फिनिश करता है प्रॉब्लम इज इंटायरली चेंज्ड और इट हैज बिकम इररेलेवेंट. तो हर्बर्ट साइमन ने सजेस्ट किया, इट इज अ थियोरी, बाउंडेड रैशनैलिटी का उसने मॉडल दिया. दिस थियोरी सेज दैट देयर आर सर्टेन कॉन्स्ट्रेंट्स. टाइम कुड बी अ कॉन्स्ट्रेंट, knowledge of a manager could be a constraint. Under the given constraint with the limited alternatives, and after exploring those limited alternatives, a manager is making a decision. Now it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other model?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other model you want me to repeat, or should I move to the next topic?
Ma'am, can you repeat the garbage can model?
Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. The
Garbage can
garbage.
model you want me to describe?
Yes,
So
Yes, ma'am.
garbage can basically means it's a very unsystematic method, right? So if you are a decision maker, all these models, first you have to understand rational, bounded, garbage, and intuition. 4 models are individual decision making models. So they all are, let me also write it upon right here. They are the individual decision making model. Rational model says you have a complete information. Bounded rationality says in the given constraint, whatever you are able to gather rationally, based on that you have taken the decision. Garbage can is a very unsystematic and a random way in which a manager is making a decision, right? So basically what he is doing is he's putting everything, whatever information is available to him, he's just looking for that information and randomly he's making the decision.
Okay.
ठीक है? अब इसमें और intuition में difference है. There is a difference. Intuition is a form of subconscious logic, right? So garbage can is a model which is a group process. And intuition एक क्या है? एक mental आपका cognitive process है, right? It's happening in your subconscious logical mind. Based on your past experiences, you are making the best conscious decision, right? So अगर आप conscious reasoning दे रहे हो, आपको past के 30 years का experience है, उसके basis पे आपके subconscious mind से जो निकल कर आया, you have taken that decision. It is not a very rational way of doing it because you haven't explored any alternative, right? In a garbage can, unsystematically problem, participant, solution, choices, opportunities, everything is coming in the head of the manager, and randomly he's making the decisions. Now it is
O-
clear,
Okay, ma'am.
right? So it is very chaotic. There is no particular linear way in which a step-by-step method where he is making the decision. Randomly, he is collecting the information, and in an unsystematically, he is making the decision. And intuition is based on the experience, based on the past experience through the subconscious mind, manager is making the decision, right? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope all the methods are clear. I'm moving to the next part.
Okay, ma'am.
So the quality, timeliness, and acceptance and ethical appropriateness of a decision influences its effectiveness, right? So you need to make a decision which is quality wise good, timely made decision. People are accepting your decision and ethically it is correct. So a manager could take 6 steps in making an effective decision using the rational decision making process. So first point was you are analyzing the problem or you are analyzing the situation, what we are under, right? So here, as a manager, you could ask a question, what are the key elements in the situation? What constraints are there which is going to affect the decision? And what resources are available with you? Like one of you mentioned budget, I am going to look into. So जब आप problem को समझ रहे हो तो आप समझोगे elements क्या हैं, constraints क्या हैं, and what all resources are there with me. Then you will set the objectives that this is the problem. So do people understand what they will work on? By what criteria will decision making be judged? Next, you will start searching the alternatives. So when you are searching the alternatives, the questions are, do people involved in the problem make the decision? Do those with information make the decision? Do they use diversity to generate ideas? Are all ideas encouraged? Right? Next is you will evaluate the alternatives. So when you are evaluating, do participants know that they are evaluating? Are differences of opinion included in the evaluation? Finally, you make the decision. So do employees know that they are making the decision? Are they aware if they are satisfying or optimizing? Do action plan fits with the decision? Are they committed to decision? And final stage is evaluation of decision. So our responsibility of data collection, analysis, and reporting clear? Is there a comprehensive evaluation plan? Is there any evaluation schedule that you are following? Also, manager can ask these questions when evaluating objectives. So when you're evaluating the objectives, you need to ask the question, first is relevance. So do the objectives relate to or support the basic purpose of organization? So are your objectives related to the organization? Are they supporting the basic purpose of the organization? Are these objectives recognize the obvious constraint? So how practical it is to decide something based on these objective. Next is challenge. Do the objectives provide the challenge for managers at all levels in the organization? Can managers quantify these objectives? So if I'm taking some decision, can I measure it? These objectives are measurable. Can managers monitor the objectives at interim points to ensure process? And last is balance. Do the objectives provide a proper balance of all activities given organizational goals? So see, each criteria may not be very accurate in this given situation, but few of them are. So when you are defining the problem and the next step, when you are defining the objectives, it is important to see whether the objectives are relevant, practical, measurable, doable, balanced. Next is flexibility. So are the objectives sufficiently flexible or is the organization likely to find itself locked into a particular course of action? Timeliness, I have already explained you that in the given environment, is it on a timely basis we could complete these objectives? Technology, do the objectives fall within the boundaries of current technological development? Growth, do the objectives help the organization grow, not just survive? Last is cost effectiveness. So do the objectives expected cost clearly outweigh their benefits? Next comes group decision making process. Again, I'm repeating the same thing, that all these criteria points, all these six steps that I have discussed, everything might not be suitable in every decision making process, but some of them are either an individual decision making process or a group decision making process. In previous slide, we have covered individual decision making process. Now I will start with group decision making process. Group decision making process, I will be discussing the four methods, out of which three are brainstorming, the nominal group technique, and the Delphi method. We also have one more method or technique, which is extended form of brainstorming. So what is brainstorming process? Very important and very common. Anyone has any idea about the brainstorming process? Let me give you the access of mic. Yes. Do you have any idea about brainstorming process?
Ma'am, it's basically when people meet together and give their opinion, give their views on a particular topic. They think about the problem. So, in a group of five people, all five will give their approach how they will solve the problem. So that's what something called as a brainstorming session.
Brainstorming session. Anyone else? Good. Anything
To
else?
to deep dive
I
into a
would like
topic
to I would
more.
like to say something.
Yes. Go ahead.
Um, uh, Brainstorming is a creative problem-solving technique
Okay.
where we are giving the free hand to the participants that they can share their ideas in their own way.
Okay.
There
Good.
is no
So
restriction about that.
there is no
And
restriction.
yeah, and it is
Yes.
used for idea generation, non-judgmental environment, what I had just said, and a, a goal-oriented sometimes, and sometimes it can be open.
Good. So rightly said that it is something where no one is judging you. So you are open to give your ideas. So the brainstorming is a process where a person is open to give an idea. Before going further, let me just ask you a simple question. If you have to make some decision, right? Let's say related to timetable or maybe classes scheduling, right?
Mhm.
Then if it is a group process and we try to engage each and every one of you, that means students, teachers, faculty, and other non-teaching staff to make this decision, how you feel we should proceed? Anyone? Question is clear? So if we are scheduling the timetable, right,
Mhm.
and we
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to do it in a way that everyone is involved, that means every student or faculty member or non-teaching staff involved in this thing is involved in the decision making process, then according to you, how we should do it?
Uh, Ma'am,
Yes. If you want to engage each one of you, then how you feel it is possible? Or you think individual decision making process is better in this case?
ma'am, when
Yes.
the condition is about to making the timetable, then the individual decision making would be a better option by understanding the
Individual
conditions
decision making
situation.
is better. Okay.
Yeah.
If it is about timetable.
Yeah.
What about if it is deciding at what time we should have online classes? Then which decision making is better?
Ma'am, I think it's a group
In
Group
because
decision making.
Group
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 decision.
group
yes,
is
group
more
decision
Group
making.
decision
group is
making is
more
better.
accurate. Yes, because
Okay.
everyone's opinion will be
Then
counted
how
while
we should
making timetable.
proceed?
And we first of all we should
Time.
We
ask
should make
ask
everyone
everyone to
believe
come
that
forward
who is
and
not
give
participant.
their
Yeah, if
One,
there is one
one by
come
one.
forward,
Deciding,
then
1 minute,
give
one
their
by one. Deciding timings of online classes, right? One by one. Whosoever is speaking, please tell me your name first, then you tell me the answer.
ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Nirnay. Ma'am, for a group decision timetable,
Okay.
everyone should come up with
Uh-huh.
the basically their own comfortable timing. Suppose if
Okay.
we basically make a decision out of the group, so if
Mhm.
someone is working professional, then most of their average time will be beyond the working hours. Then in that case, we will decide the time.
Correct.
So in that case, we can come up with the idea.
Okay. Okay. So everyone could give their comfortable time,
Yes, ma'am.
including faculty and students and non-teaching staff. So
Yes,
what is the possible outcome? Everyone will be giving us his different timings. How will we make the decision? Time तो
Yeah,
एक ही
ma'am.
हो
yes,
सकता
ma'am.
है.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
The same thing. I was thinking that I want to take class at the 12 a.m. What would
Uh-huh.
happen in that condition? And there are people who are having majority who want to take class at 12 a.m. In that condition, what would you do?
Right.
You will take class at 12 a.m.
Exactly the same thing.
ma'am. We'll
Exactly
go with the
same
majority.
thing.
Yes.
So we always say, see, group decision making का एक benefit है. The benefit is that we have more ideas, right? And people do accept what is decided by the group, at least those who are affected by the decision. So if in a group we are deciding and finally it is decided that time should be 3 to 5, then you people will be accepting it because you have, you know, gone through a process where you have seen the limitation, pros and cons of every other alternative. And you could
Yes, ma'am.
understand it. Okay, this is the best thing that has happened. Otherwise, if an individual would have told you that this is a time, you would have said, no, 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 this time has this problem, right? So these are the two main benefits of a group decision making process. But it has certain limitations also that we have already discussed, right? So if I have to make a decision in a group, I need to understand that how I could ensure the participation of each and every member without any contradiction. We are not here
Ma'am,
to decide that what is the time of online classes. We basically intend to understand that how a manager is making decisions in an organization when it comes to group decision making process. Is this part clear?
ma'am, I want to add on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, yes.
M- Ma'am, since we are saying
Yes.
that we must ask everyone their comfortable time, it is,
Mhm.
ma'am, it's better to focus more on what time they are not comfortable with, because
No,
See, if we
because
go with the time
huh,
they are comfortable in, or we go with vice versa scenario where they are not comfortable, either of the case, we will have multiple answers.
ma'am.
Like if I'm a working
I would
professional,
like to
for
say
me, the
So,
yes,
ma'am, in the
someone wanted to
brainstorming
say.
session, the individuals, those are participating in the session would know the constraints also, or they only
Yes.
have the access to the problem, or the
Okay.
purpose of
So
the manager
basically, I
is
will
to
answer the
only.
first question.
Uh, okay,
Hmm.
ma'am.
So I will go one by one. The first, her thing was she was asking me, ma'am, rather than going and asking everyone where at what time you're comfortable, we should ask at what time they're not comfortable, right? What I am trying to say is either ways, whether you ask the comfortable time slot or you ask the time slot which is not comfortable, engaging a huge group in the decision making process remains very challenging because you could have multiple viewpoints, everyone giving you a logic, right? So, above techniques which we intend to discuss in this class is a way which informs you that how it could be done effectively and efficiently, right?
mm,
Brainstorming process, as
ma'am,
explained by few of you. Yes,
I also want to add on.
yes.
Why I said we are not, we must ask people why their uncomfortable time, because for uncomfortable time, we can keep their options limited, like he or she can speak only two uncomfortable time of this. But ma'am, for comfortable
Okay,
time, we can't
restricting the
keep the
options.
options limited. Yes.
I totally agree with what you are saying, right? Which is true. But
Ma'am, we can,
even in that scenario, also, we will face some multiple problems, right? If you
ma'am,
want
we
me
can
to just
ask
continue
three
with this,
suitable
then
times.
yes, this is one way. We could ask three suitable times, or we could take restrict them on the certain slots. That is absolutely correct. But
Yes,
every
ma'am.
decision
This is the
making
best option.
process, when we involve now a huge group of people, we face certain challenges, right? First, we will discuss these techniques in detail, and then we will come back to the same question again and we will think about it differently, right? We will try to fit the technique to the problem, right? So brainstorming process, like few of you have mentioned, is absolutely correct. But what we normally miss is that in a brainstorming process, the main thing is that we don't restrict anyone, right? So if 10 students are sitting in front of me and I'm conducting a brainstorming, you know, process, then I will ask each individual turn by turn to tell me the solution to the problem. So I on board, I will write down the problem and then I will ask each individual to tell me what is the solution to this problem. Irrespective of whether your solution is good, bad, what you think, what you don't think, I will be noting down your answer. I will be recording each and every idea. There should be no comments, no criticism, right? So like I asked you here that according to you, if we are figuring it out that what particular time slot is there for the online classes, one of you said that comfortable time slot. The next person said, no, ma'am, comfortable time slot नहीं होना चाहिए, हमें uncomfortable time slot लेना चाहिए, right? So we never contradict someone's opinion, right? So you could say one option is comfortable slot. When your turn is going to come, you could tell me, okay, uncomfortable time slot is another way of doing and handling this problem. Is this part clear?
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So one idea per turn. So when your turn is going to come, you could tell me the solution to a problem without commenting or criticizing the idea given by some other person, right? If you don't have any idea at that point of time, you could may pass it. So this process keeps on going until all the ideas are exhausted, right? Once everyone is done and every idea that is coming in their head is exhausted, then what a manager is doing, he is listing down the idea. He is not evaluating any idea during the initial stages. He is encouraging the creativity. He offered the ideas related to those already listed, right? Ask each participant to offer a specific number of new ideas. Set a time for brainstorming. That half an hour is the time slot till which this process is going to go on, right? So after this, each idea we will be discussing about the pros and cons and listing it down. Based on common voting, we will be deciding the final idea. The brainstorming process is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Right? So if I
Yes, ma'am.
go back to this problem where I'm deciding the timings of online class, then what I will be doing, I will be asking each one of you to tell me, like, okay, just give me a small, let us do a small activity, right? Okay, comfortable time slot for online class, right? The problem is that we are scheduling the timetable and we need to fix a time slot, right? So one of you could participate. Anyone? What is the solution with you for this problem? Yes?
Mom, we can do a
Anyone?
poll for
We can?
3 to 5 p.m.
Could you
we
please
can do a
repeat?
Mom, we can do a poll for it. Or we can create a Google
Okay.
form which we can circulate, and in that we can list down the timings, and according to that people can choose and which is the most
Google form.
appropriate. Yeah, ma'am.
we could create a Google form. Okay, the idea is problem. Let me also write the problem. Problem is how to include faculty members and students in deciding the common time slot for online classes. This is the problem, right? So the first option is poll and Google form could be created. Second, anyone else?
Ma'am, we
Yes,
could provide some slots out of which the members could choose in what slot they want to have a meeting. Accordingly, we can decide.
provide some countable slots where each member could be asked to pick certain slots, right? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else wants to give me any solution to this problem? Yes. Ritika, you are here in the class. Any solution from your side?
Ma'am, I
Aftab,
have,
Rit-
Ma'am,
Vikas, Sonal.
Ma'am, we
Ma'am,
can
ma'am,
create groups also.
ma'am,
We can
ma'am,
create
Small
groups.
group. Yes, in a group
Yes.
decision, we can create small groups also, and that group it can be on the basis of everyone's qualification.
Okay. Based on qualification.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other?
Because, ma'am, everybody is qualified in different subjects, so he or she will give different. So,
Hmm.
a, a person of different background will create a different decision in their own way.
Okay. So individually, small groups could give the decisions, and based on it, we could come on a common decision. What else?
Yes.
ma'am,
Anything else
ma'am,
anyone want to? Mhm.
ma'am. Actually, I want to add in the second point that the polls. Ma'am, we can give an option to add a comment also. Suppose there's some individual who is not comfortable with any of that slot, he can add his own comment so that
Okay. In the
what he
Google
thinks
form.
about it. Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Add extra field of Google Forms. So,
Yes. Anything else? Anything else? So this is how a brainstorming process. Now, once we are done with
Ma'am,
all the ideas, yes.
ma'am, I also want to add on, keeping in
Yes.
mind the fourth point,
Hmm.
we must keep subjective question and objective question separately, or another way is prepare objective questions only and ask him or her why he or she feels this way.
In the small groups, right?
And yes, later on,
Point
these
three now.
things will be, no, ma'am, a point four.
Point four. Okay. In the Google form,
yes, ma'am. It
right?
is right.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So my point here is once all the ideas are exhausted, everyone has given an idea. Here, no one has targeted on anyone's idea. This is how our brainstorming process is done. If someone of you would have said, no, ma'am, Google form to nahi, poll is better, then it is wrong. In the brainstorming process, every individual is given an opportunity. Nobody questions or comment on the option or the idea that is suggested by an individual. Then
Ma'am, can
each
we give,
idea is evaluated based
ma'am,
on pros and
can we give
cons.
a,
Yes.
ma'am, can we give a constructive criticism if we don't like something?
No,
Okay.
no, no. There is no criticism. Every
Ma'am, I
idea,
want to
see,
add on
hmm,
Okay,
hmm,
ma'am.
a constructive
yes,
criticism, according to me, is not right because for me, whatever criticism is con constructive, then for someone else, that
hmm,
criticism cannot be constructive.
yes, okay, yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
Basically,
ma'am.
we
Also,
all
it
have
restricts
a
your mind.
different way of looking
Basically,
at things.
yes. So basically, it restricts the mind. So if I'm giving you an idea and someone is giving me a constructive criticism, the next time if some idea is going to come in my mind, I will be hesitant to disclose that idea, right? Because I may have a feeling that this idea could be criticized. So this method is about not criticizing any idea. Let the people open their mind, let them speak whatever is coming in their mind. That brings creativity on the table, right? At towards the end, all the for each and every option, pros and cons are discussed, and the best idea based on majority is picked, right? So this is the brainstorming process. Next comes affinity diagram. So it is again a group decision making technique designed to sort out the large number of ideas, concepts, or opinions into naturally related groups. These groups are connected by a simple concept, right? So basically, the ideas are described with phrases or sentence. It minimizes the discussion while sorting. It aims for 5 to 10 groups. If one group is much larger than other, then they split it. So this is just a way affinity diagram is made. So if there is a problem that what are the glitches we are facing currently, right? So what are the glitches in our content creation process? This is a problem. So everyone in the sticky notes, they will be writing the solutions. Someone will be saying we could lose the track of projects. Someone will be saying I have hard time focusing with so much noise in the office. Someone will say that I lack motivation to write. Someone will say we don't have the defined content strategy. Someone is going to say approvals take a million of years. Like this, different things will be coming. So आपने अपने employees से पूछा कि when you are creating the content, what are the problems you are facing? Everyone on the sticky note is writing different things. Then you are segregating those sticky notes on the basis of certain groups, like interruption and motivation. Four people were saying that they have feel bored, they don't feel motivated, they find it hard to focus with the noise in the office. Second is structural challenges, that they don't have defined content strategy. There is no manager for the content team. We don't have the authority to run with our own ideas. Third is delays. Approvals take time. Nobody ever edits my data. It takes a long time to get keywords from the SEO team. Then is team organization, and then you can also have some isolated solution जो किसी भी group में part नहीं बन पा रहा, right? So this gives you a picturization where what are the key you know areas where the people are facing problem. Going back to it, the aim of this affinity diagram is to create maximum 5 to 10 groups. So here you could see there are 5 groups. So how affinity diagram sorting process is done? In small cards or the sticky notes, all the ideas are recorded. They are randomly laid on the table. Then a sorting is done based on the similar group. For example, all the things related to team organization has been grouped together. So like this sorting is done. Then you create the header card. What is the header card here? Team organization is a header card. Delay is a header card. So you create this header card. It consists of concise 3 to 5 word phrases description, right? And this header card is placed on the top of the group, right? And then discuss the grouping and try to understand that how the groups relate to each other. Is this part clear? Yes, affinity diagram is clear. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So you inquire, few ideas are clarified, use 3 to 5 words in the phrases. Team members should ultimately reach to an agreement on placement. Sorting should be known to everyone that team members should be ready for the sorting process. If an idea fits in more than one category or group, or after discussion, you could make the second header card, right? So like this, the affinity diagram is made. Now, what is the difference between brainstorming and affinity diagram? Brainstorming is a creative process that generates the idea. Like I clearly mentioned, you're not criticizing any idea. So creatively, people are open to think and generate the ideas. Whereas affinity diagram is a visual tool that organizes those ideas into group. So it gives you more of a visual clarity. Okay, people are facing problem related to motivation, related to structure, related to team, and related to delays, right? So it gives you a better visual representation of the problem. Next come nominal group technique. So nominal group technique is very similar to other techniques also, but here there is a face-to-face group technique in which instructions are given to group members not to interact with each other except at specific steps in the process. So it's a silent idea generation process. It's a round robin sharing, like you could see in the diagram, right? Feedback to the group, explanatory group discussion, individual reassessment, right? So what exactly is happening? There is a problem. Let's take this problem. The problem is what are the glitches that our content creation process is facing? This is a problem. This problem will be written on the board, and every person who is sitting in the round table will be silently and secretively, they will be writing the solution to the problem without discussing, right? Once they have written this particular solution, they will be explaining their solution. They will be telling that how this is going to work, and then others will be asking the questions that pros, cons, ये कैसे हो पाएगा, how will you do it? All these questions and feedback from the group will be taken. And then each and every idea that is given by the group will be discussed based on pros and cons. Then simple voting will be done to finalize an idea. So it's a more structured way of conducting the group decision making process. Is this part clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you explain the round robin sharing part? Like, I did not understand what is this.
Round robin sharing is just a fancy word they have used. Basically, it means that if on a table people are sitting, 5 of us are
Mm-hmm.
sitting, then each one is secretly writing their ideas in the round table without showing each other. So हमारे पास problem है, हम एक दूसरे से discuss नहीं कर रहे. Like when I gave you this brainstorming
Okay.
process,
Haha.
you simply said कि I want to add something to point 1 or point 2, right? So
Okay.
point 2 तो आपका किसी और का लिया, आपका mind उस direction में चला गया. So nominal group technique के अंदर problem is given to you, you are just writing the solution on your own without any disturbance. So one by
Okay.
one in a round table, everyone will be given an opportunity to share the idea that they have written along with the pros and cons or whatever they want to tell, they could tell. And then others could ask them the question that if we go with this idea, what will happen? Like this, pros and cons could be discussed in the group. Once this process is over, through a simple voting process, we could finalize it. So ये एक थोड़ा सा systematic way है एक particular problem को deal करने के लिए. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am, got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is Delphi technique, right? It is again a very structured, anonymous way method, right? Where a complex problem is discussed. So first a problem is shared, then there are questionnaires, then anonymously, independently, everyone is giving a solution. Then a person is there who is compiling the results and then distributing the copies of the result, and new round begins. To explain you in a simple process, first of all, this technique involves some problem which is very complex. कुछ छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम के लिए हम नॉर्मली डेल्फी टेक्निक को यूज नहीं करते बिकॉज इट्स अ टाइम कंज्यूमिंग प्रोसेस. सो इफ देयर इज अ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रॉब्लम विद अस, वी विल पिक अप द एक्सपर्ट्स. हम कुछ 5 to 10 एक्सपर्ट्स पिक कर लेंगे whose participation we want for this problem. So each expert will be given a questionnaire where the problem will be stated that this is the problem, you give us the solution, right? So every individual will be giving us the solution. All the solutions or the results will be combined. They are anonymous. Nobody knows who has written which solution and how it has been given. Independently, हर expert ने एक solution दिया. Then whatever you have compiled, you will be sharing it again with all the experts, and you will be asking them that what, according to you, which one should be picked, or according to you, what is your opinion on the each ideas. So you are going to distribute the copies of the result, right? So they will tell why they feel this is good, why they feel this is bad, or they will change their idea, or they will bend towards someone else's idea. Like this, they are going to decide, right? And they are going to return the copies. Again, the results will be combined. So this process will keep on going till we will finally come to one single idea, right? And it does not require physical presence. Through emails, a person could coordinate. Either through sending the letters also, a person could coordinate. Method is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So multiple round is there and one facilitator is there who is compiling the result and giving it back to the experts. Risk and the manager. So it says that the tendency to choose an option that entail fewer risk and less uncertainty. So I will be just taking the excess of mine so that there is no disturbance. Okay. So we have discussed individual decision-making models. We have also discussed group decision-making models. Right now, there are certain things related to decision-making. First is risk averse. So there is a tendency to choose an option that entails fewer risk and less uncertainty. And certain people are risk takers. So they have accept greater potential for loss. They could tolerate greater uncertainty. They are more likely to make the risky decisions. Also, decision-making process is impacted by the cognitive style. So an individual preference for gathering an information and evaluating the alternatives is there in the cognitive style. How a person is picking up an information, how they are evaluating from an individual to individual, that is also going to vary. Then it comes the influences on decision making, right? One is intuition, which is the fast positive force in decision making, utilized at the level below consciousness, involve learner's pattern of information. Then we have creativity, a process which is influenced by individual and organizational factor that results in the production of novel and useful ideas, products, and both. So if you want to ensure that there is a creativity in the decision making process, then one second. Then there are 4 stages. First is preparation, that is experience opportunity to build the knowledge base. Then we have incubation, that is often an unconscious thought. Creativity is something which is new, right? Third is illumination, which is insight into problems. You are adding certain new things to the problem. And last is verification, that is thinking, sharing, and testing the decisions. Then, what is the influence on creativity? Individual, if I take an example of an individual, it's a cognitive process. It is something that is there in your mind. It is a divergent thinking, different ways of thinking, associational abilities. Then, personality factors are there, like how much interest you have in that particular topic, how much energy, how much self confidence you have to come up with a creative solution. Then there is an organizational component which includes the flexible organizational structure. In case organization is very rigid, then people won't come up with the creative solutions. Then participative decision making. So if you are going with group decision making process where everyone is participating, then definitely you will be able to see the creativity. Obviously, quality and supportive relationship with supervisor also plays a very important role where the employees become creative. So organizations can facilitate creative decision making by allowing the employees to fail. So if someone is giving some solution which is not a very good solution, it is okay. Failure is okay, right? When they make work more fun. So if you make work more fun, then again people enjoy it, they come up with creative ideas. Then when you provide creativity training helps others to understand that where they are not able to get the creativity, how they should start, how they should, think so that they could come up with creative ideas. Then vary work groups. So when you diversification is there, you come up with more creativity. When you encourage creative stimulus like music, art, etc. Then last is participative decision making. So individuals who are affected by decisions influence the decisions making of those decisions, right? So when I talk about organizational foundation, participative, supportive organizational culture, team oriented work designs. When I talk about individually what I need, then it is about capability to become psychologically involved in participative activities. I should be motivated to act autonomously, capacity to see the relevance of participation for one's own well-being. Then we have two phenomena which are very important. One is groupthink and one is group polarization. Let me just get into it. Before this, let me explain you the slides that I have discussed just now. It is simply about creativity, right? So it simply says that there is a cognitive style, right, in which people are more creative. So अगर आप creative आप चाहते हो आपके employees जो solution लेके आ रहे हैं वो creative हो, उसके कुछ 4 stages हैं. Further, if you want to understand what are the components or factors which is going to influence the creativity at individual level, personality level, and organizational level, that point we have discussed. Last, what organizations could do so that people could come up with creative decision making. So certain points are there that we have discussed, right? So it was add on to the previous things, right? Next topic that we will be starting is group phenomena. So when we promote group decision making, normally this phenomena faces two problems. One is groupthink, second is group polarization. So groupthink is a problem where a particular person confirms whatever the group is deciding because of the pressure, right? So sometimes when we are part of a group, we find ourselves under pressure to confirm whatever the dominating people are deciding in the group, even though when our opinion is different. Second is problem with the group decision making is group polarization, which means that as an individual, I have to decide something, I remain more risk averse. That means I will pick up something that is less risky. But when I'm part of a group and I have to make a decision, then my tendency to take risk immediately increases. So I make the extreme decisions, right? Any problem in groupthink and group polarization? Let me just give you access of mic. Yes. Any problem in groupthink and group polarization?
Ma'am, can you repeat this? Like little
Ma'am, can you
confusing.
repeat
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Ma'am,
ग्रुप थिंक
polarization,
क्या होता
please,
है
once
जब हम
again.
ग्रुप का पार्ट होते हैं when we are part of a group, when you are a part of a group, right? So we do have an opinion as an individual. Individually हमें लगता है कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, बट पूरा ग्रुप इस तरह से हमें डोमिनेट करने लग जाता है that under pressure we take certain actions. We also confirm, yes, whatever group is deciding, I am okay with this. So this is the problem of group thing, right? For example, you are a very studious person who wants to focus in studies, but आपके friend circle में जो friends हैं, they are very adventurous, so they are not
Hmm.
inclined towards studies. सो कई बार हम ऐसी ट्रिप्स को प्लान कर लेते हैं अंडर प्रेशर. So you're confirming a decision under pressure. You don't agree to whatever group is deciding, but you're not saying no to it. This does happen. ऐसा
Yes,
होता है.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Well
Right?
done.
So creativity कैसे आएगी? Because creativity means that everyone is participating and they're coming up with whatever is there in their mind. But when we make a group to ensure that there should be creativity, the group faces the problem of groupthink, where people tend to conform and they find themselves under pressure. Second problem with the group is group polarization, right? इसे group shift भी बोलते हैं. What does that mean? If individually you have to make a decision, then human tendency, cognitive mind की tendency है, they remain risk averse. Risk averse means a person who takes less risky option. So जब आपको individually कोई solution लेना है, तो आप tend करते हो, you will pick up something that is less risky. But when you are in a part of a group, then आपकी risk taking abilities जो होती है वो बढ़ जाती है, risk aptitude बढ़ जाता है. So you tend to take a risky project. Why? Because group is responsible for the outcome, not you. इंडिविजुअल में तो मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, अगर आउटकम अच्छा नहीं आया, then the decision maker is responsible, and as an individual I am responsible for the decision I'm making. So I will tend to make a decision which is less risky. But when I'm part of a group, then I will make a decision which is more risky. So जब हम बहुत सारे लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करते हैं and we say it's a group decision making process and it is going to give creative options, then the problem that a group faces is कि वो ऐसे solutions ले आते हैं जो बहुत risky होते हैं. Why? Because they are not alone responsible for the outcome. Now it is clear?
Group. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is ethics check. It is a very small topic and I will be covering it in very short way. Whatever decision you are making, you need to decide two things. You need to look for two things to make it ethical. First is it legal? Second is it balanced? Legal basically includes it should not violate any law. It should not violate policy of the company. And balance means it should be fair at all levels and it should promote a win-win solution, right? So that makes it an ethical decision. Here there is a short case study we will be discussing, and this is the last topic. So Spark Electronics is a mid-sized company. It was about to launch a new line of smart home devices. So CEO Arjun needed to decide whether to spend more on digital advertisement or retail display promotions. Initially, Arjun made an individual decision to invest heavily in digital ads. He believed that online marketing would reach tech-savvy customers quickly. However, after the first month, sales growth was only moderate. Concerned, he called the team meeting with managers from marketing, sales, and finance to discuss the next step. So, a sales manager argued that in-store display attracts more impulse buyers. Finance head advised that balance of cost and reach is important. Marketing team suggested that combining the online promotion with limited in-store campaign will be more beneficial. So after their discussion, the team collectively decided to allocate funds where the 70% of the digital 70% was invested in the digital ads and 30% was in the in-store branding. Within 2 months, sales increased by 20%, proving the group decision was more effective than Arjun's initial individual idea. The first question is that you have to differentiate between group decision making and individual decision making. This is a very basic question. I won't be discussing it here. Let us discuss the second question where we have to discuss any one individual or one group decision making technique which is more suitable according to you in the given situation. Yes. Anyone? Which individual technique, according to you, is suitable when Arjun is individually making the decision? And which group technique you feel is more suitable when Arjun is including other members in the company? Anyone?
Uh,
Question is clear to
in the
everyone?
group discussion, I think yes. In the group
I think
discussion, I think
brainstorming
brainstorming
should have been
is
used here.
better.
Group
That will
decision
be
Brainstorming could have
efficient
been an
also.
option.
making. Okay. Brainstorming.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Brainstorming.
who all should be included? Who all
From the
should be
sales
included
team,
from the company?
marketing team, sales manager, marketing manager, and the finance
All the
person.
teams, ma'am.
So
It
you feel
means.
marketing and finance manager should also be included?
Yes, Sam, because that is again something at stake wherein the
Okay.
decision has to be taken.
Okay. What else? Anything else in group decision making?
Ma'am, we can include Delphi technique also.
Delphi technique. Okay. And
For
who
the
all will
round.
be included in here? In Delphi technique, who all will be included?
Ma'am,
Yes.
nominal group
Yes.
technique.
Nominal
Ma'am,
group technique.
Ma'am, in Delphi technique, we will involve the HODs of the head of the departments,
HODs of the department.
the head of the departments.
Okay. What else? Okay. One by one, let me pick each technique and I will explain it to you how it fits to the situation, right? If Arjun wants to pick up group technique and if he picks the brainstorming technique, then what he needs to do is he needs to collect the people who are either related to marketing, right? Sales, finance, or they are the business stakeholders, right? अगर आपने कोई product बनाया है, right? So you could also include those people also, those HODs also, where you feel head of the departments could contribute, right? Then you need to display the topic on the board, and then by turn, you have to ask each and every member to tell that what idea is there in their mind when it comes to promotion of the particular product. So you don't mention digital or this. You simply ask the question, which particular way you suggest for the promotion, and let the ideas come from their mind. You record each and every idea. No comments, no criticism. One by one, everyone is going to give an idea. If no one has if someone is not having any idea, like any head is not having any idea, leave that person and move to the next person. Once all the ideas will be exhausted, then you will be evaluating the each idea, pros and cons, and through voting, one idea will be picked. So in examination, if this questions or such question comes, you have to explain this complete process of brainstorming. If you go by affinity diagram, again, you will write down the problem, that this is the problem we are facing. And according to you, what could be the possible solutions? So all the solutions will be written. Like someone is going to say, okay, through this particular platform, through this platform, we could do it. Then you could club the platforms which are similar in nature and give it one header. So visually you could display it. If you go with nominal group technique, then you will note down the problem and silently everyone will be writing the complete solution to the problem. Once the solution is written, one by one, turn by turn, everyone will be presenting their idea and others will be asking the question if anything is there in their mind. Last is Delphi technique. Delphi technique, I have a mixed opinion about it, but again, there is no restriction. It is not a very complex problem. Delphi technique is used when the problem is very, very complex. But I don't feel that this is a complex problem. So if you treat it as a complex problem, very, very crucial for the organization, then you need to put it like that. So COVID-19 scenario is a complex problem. Now what to do? Now how to run a business? This is a complex problem. AI is coming. This is a complex problem. We want to introduce a line or a new product. This is a complex problem. Should we go with the same brand or we should come up with a different brand? It is a complex problem, right? But promotional technique, I don't feel is a complex problem. So if I would have been in your place, I wouldn't have picked that. Now it is clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Similarly, if Arjun is supposed to make an individual decision in this case, then what all option he has? He has rational model, bounded rationality model, garbage can model, or intuition. In case study, it is silent that whether Arjun is a very experienced person or not, or anything like that. So you need to give us the valid reason, right? Intuition generally you used when a person or a manager is very experienced. Number one. Number two, there is a time constraint, right? Bounded rationality is again used when the time is limited, and with the limited information or the cognitive knowledge, a manager is making a decision. Rational decision making model is a model where you have a lot of time. There is no time restriction. There is no other restriction. Manager could explore all the alternatives. He could evaluate all the alternatives. He could just explore them and then he could figure out the best alternative, right? So when whichever model you are picking or whichever way you are explaining that how Arjun could have used this model to make the individual decision, you need to give us the detail also. Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? So ऐसा नहीं है कि इसका
Yes, ma'am.
solution इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर कोई एक डिसीजन मेथड है. But whatever answer you are giving, whatever you are writing, it should be well supported, right? If in case study I would have mentioned that there is a time constraint, just one single line, there is a time constraint. तो rational model नहीं आप use कर सकते उस केस में. Delphi model आप use नहीं कर सकते.
Intuitive.
Nominal model को भी आप avoid करोगे.
Bounded rationality model.
All are time consuming. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Intuition model.
Anyone is
Yes.
saying? Intuition model you could use only when I would have written in the case study that Arjun is a very experienced person and this is a complex problem with an uncertainty and the vague things. अब ये कोई इतनी मेजर अनसर्टेन और वेग इंफॉर्मेशन वाली चीज नहीं है जिसमें उसे ऑल्टरनेटिव्स नहीं मिलेंगे. He could explore, he could research, and the alternatives would be there. So again, intuition is not very suitable. Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what if, see, so if in the case study it would have, if I would have written that problem is complex, then which method you would have picked?
Ma'am,
Delphi.
Delphi technique.
Then you would have picked Delphi technique. Okay. If I would have written that information problem is complex, then Delphi is suitable. If I would have written time is constrained, then
Bounded rationality.
time is constrained, then individual technique is bounded rationality. And other one in group technique. In group technique, which one you would have
Brainstorming
used?
or and affinity diagram.
You go with
Brainstorming and
brainstorming,
affinity diagram.
right? Brainstorming. अगर group technique word ही given है कि group techniques करनी है तो it is brainstorming, right? If I would have given you that manager is very experienced person and there is a time constraint, then which technique?
Intuition.
Intuition.
Then intuition is also suitable, right? Intuition is also suitable when when the problem, the alternatives for the problem is not very clear. Manager is experienced, time is constrained, and the problem with an alternative is not very clear. Then you
Okay,
go by
ma'am.
intuition,
Okay,
Intuition.
ma'am.
right? So this is how you need to solve the case studies. Any other question from your side? Yes, any question from anyone's?
Ma'am,
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am.
मैम ये 4 स्टेजेज ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी प्रोसेस एक बार बता दीजिए.
4 stages of
क्रिएटिविटी
creativity.
प्रोसेस. Yes.
Okay, let me go to that slide. So my slides are visible to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This one, right?
Yes,
First
ma'am.
stage is preparation. Okay, this stage is
Yes.
a stage where you define the problem. So basically, you gather the information, and a very
Okay.
primary level initial research is done to understand the problem. Preparation, right? So
Okay.
you basically build the knowledge base. Once it is done, then our mind is such that it thinks in a regular way, right?
Yes.
Whatever is going on in the same pattern we think. So the mind needs a break from the problem. So this is a
Okay.
stage where you step away from it and you allow your subconscious mind to process the information that is with you, right? So this is
Okay,
a
ma'am.
period where your mind just rests and you let the ideas come in your mind through your
Okay, ma'am.
unconscious thoughts. Then
Okay,
once
ma'am.
those ideas are there, then there is eureka moment for you, right? So this is the moment, or you call it illuminate, light jal gayi, right? Like this. So where the solution or that new idea suddenly that it comes in your mind, and that idea is something which we were looking for. And verification is the final stage where you test that idea and you evaluate it and you refine it. So this involves analyzing the idea to ensure if it is practical and feasible to do or not. So when
Okay,
you
ma'am.
start with the creative process, सबसे पहले क्या है? Problem define करना. You should be
Yes.
knowing करना क्या है, right? Initial
Hmm.
primary research के basis में हमने problem बता दी. We take a break from the problem, right? And अपने mind में ideas को generate होने देते हैं, because it's a human mind. और जितने
Hmm.
भी ideas आते हैं, eureka moment आता है. Yes, oh, this is an idea. Then you verify the idea whether it is feasible or not. That is verification. Now it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any other problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is it for the today, right? In the physical class coming Sunday, we will be discussing the. Let me just show you the unit also. So if we look into the syllabus just for your verification, today we have discussed unit number 7, where I have discussed decision making, types of decisions, programmed, unprogrammed, non-programmed. Then I have discussed the process of decision making. Then I have discussed various models and techniques under individual decision making and group decision making. In the next class, that is will be on Sunday, I will be taking up groups and teams in more detail. Right? So we will be having certain activities based on it. We will be discussing this unit. Any question from your side?
As per SLM, how much unit we have covered till now?